Welcome back to Perkins Pipes. Oh, friends, this is a very, very different kind of video. I've got the little SMS meerschaum. For this video requires, requires a meerschaum. And I thought this elegant little meerschaum would be the perfect choice. Before we do the usual, let's get this guy lit, let's get to talking thing. Let me share with you this this letter that I received from one of the YouTube pipe community people, a fellow who goes by the YouTube handle Ravelation, not Revelation, but Ravelation. And he has prepared tobacco in several different ways. And so I think he did this with several of us. And he, let me show you kind of what he sent here. So he sent these little baggies, little pouches of tobacco. And so what has he got here? He says 10 grams of Cellared Arango Balkan Supreme in its original loose form to establish a clean baseline. Then he's got the same sample prepared several different ways. He has it produced via Sous Vide at 190 degrees for 2 hours, and sorry, that was the 4 hour one. Sous vide for 200 degrees. Let me rephrase that. He's got sous vide for 190 degrees for 2 hours, and then sous vide for 190 degrees 4 hours. Then he's got the same tobacco here, and he's got a convection oven for 200 degrees 2 hours, and again 200 degrees 4 hours. And then finally, pressure cooker, 240 degrees for 2 hours, pressure cooker, 240 degrees for 4 hours, and then finally a no heat pressed sample using a noodle extruder for 10 days under steady pressure. And he's curious as to what the different methods will do regarding, as he says, flavor, aroma, burn, texture of the tobacco. He said things to consider: body, flavor intensity, strength, aroma, combustion, mouth feel, and texture. And he's even got a little flavor meter on the back here as a way to keep some notes. So I thought about doing a whole series of videos, and while it may be a series of recordings, I'm going to put this together into one video so you can kind of see what's going on here. So we're going to start off with the Cellared sample, and has not had any of those other treatments. So we're going to start off with this guy, and just really out of the bag, let's take a little whiff here. Smells smoky to me. Smells like a nice smoky, perhaps peaty scotch. So let me fill this guy up. We'll get her lit, and then we'll get to talking. Okay, so now we got this guy loaded up here. Let's get this guy lit. Let's get to talking. certainly a strong, as I said, kind of smoky, peaty almost aroma out of the baggie. I don't really notice that as I just lit that just now. Nice taste. Not in any way overwhelming in terms of the taste. And I don't say that as a bad thing. I'm just saying it's not a kind of punch you in the face sort of taste. At least it's not to me. Trying to think about what this reminds me of. It does remind me of something. It does remind me of another tobacco. Apologize that I can't say what it is. See nice clouds of smoke from that. In terms of, he talks about body in terms of the feel of the smoke in your mouth and not just strength. Definitely feels a little bit heavier in terms of the smoke. Again, not in terms of flavor. I think that the flavor is very subtle. I'm not sensing any particular quick nick hit. Now you notice it took a little bit to get lit, it seemed. And to me, maybe a tad, a touch more oily than dry. Not oily at really, but just the needle moved a notch or two off of dry, which probably is what gives it that little bit heavier body of the smoke there. So that's the baseline. And let's see, we're going to move next to, we're going to work right through these strokes. And through the miracle of video editing, this is going to move right quickly. So we're going to go to the Sous Vide. There we go, Sous Vide. And this is 2 hours at, whatever he said, 2 hours at 190 degrees. So we'll get this guy lit. We'll get to talking again. Okay, before I get this guy lit, let's talk about the aroma out of the bag here. And this guy, I would say I really don't notice much of any difference. To me, this is about the same in terms of that kind of peaty smokiness. So let's get this guy lit. I feel that lit easier than the basic Cellared. sample. Maybe not. Well, this seems to burn a little bit hotter to me. Again, this is the 2-hour sous vide. It definitely feels less body in terms of the heaviness of the smoke in the mouth. Flavor intensity is a little bit more. The basic was just that. It was very basic. Not a bad smoke, but just, you know. This definitely feels more flavorful, and while I'm certainly not, I wouldn't say I'm really getting what I would call a nick hit. I'd definitely say there's a little bit more strength to this. A little bit more interesting. Well, I think the aroma out of the bag was about the same. And notice, of course, I'm outside, and so that dissipates very quickly. I do sense a little bit more of the room note. Which is really quite nice. In fact, I like this better. And I'd say probably for the kind of the mouthfeel texture, it's probably a little bit maybe drier. No, the bummer is I really want to keep smoking more of this. But for you folks, I'm going to go ahead and continue with the test. Okay, up next is the sous vide 4 hours. Again, this was 190 degrees. And out of the bag, let's check the aroma here. Still very nice. A strong, kind of peaty, smoky aroma. I don't know, maybe a little stronger. Hard to say, but we'll get this guy lit. Okay, here we go. Let's light up the 4-hour sous vide. Again, takes a little bit to get lit. Again, this seems to burn hotter. I would say as hot, if not even maybe a little hotter than the 2-hour. The weight, I would say, is about the same as the 2-hour. Not quite as heavy as the just the straight cellared sample. For my money, I'd say the flavor is about the same. I do feel a little bit like at the eye doctor when they, change the lenses. Those of you who get your glasses done, they're like, number 1 or number 2? Number 1 or number 2? Which one is better? And sometimes you're like, I don't know. They're about the same to me. For whatever reason, I'm not noticing the aroma as much on the 4-hour. sous vide compared with the 2. I actually don't think that the intensity or the strength is quite as much. Yeah, I just need to get a little bit better. Yeah, I just need to get a little bit better there. I think the flavor is a little stronger there. I'd still say the room note's not quite as strong. Combustion seems to be about the same. Mouthfeel about the same. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference between the 4-hour and the 2-hour sous vide at 190 degrees. So what we're up to next is going to be the convection oven. And again, we're going with the 2-hour and then the 4-hour. So let's get that guy loaded. Okay, we're back with the 2-hour convection oven, and what did he say? This was 2 hours at 200 degrees. The aroma out of the baggie here. Let's get a little whiff of this guy again. I would say out of the baggie, I'm not really sensing a whole lot of difference so far. I'd say they all smell about the same thus far, with the smoky, peaty sort of flavor. Let's get this guy lit now. I'm trying to put vocabulary to the differences here. This feels a little stronger to me, I'll tell you. To me, there's a little bit of a bitterness. A little bit of a bitterness to me. I would not say I enjoy this one as well as the sous vide preparations. Lit reasonably fine, maybe a little bit easier than the sous vide. The strength, I'd say, is a little stronger to me. Of course, I could just be imagining things, but it feels a little bit, maybe a little bit more strength stimulation there. The aroma's okay, but it doesn't really please me that great. Again, I'm thinking I like the sous vide better. And the mouthfeel. Almost think we're a little heavier again. I mean, a little, maybe a little touch off of dry. Although I wouldn't really say creamy for any of these. So, next up, the 4-hour convection oven. Okay, we're back here with the 4-hour convection oven. And if experience is holding true, I'm not going to expect a whole lot more. Well, there goes the recycling out in front. Yeah, although I would say maybe not quite as strong on the kind of peaty, smoky aroma, but it's certainly that's what it is. So, I apologize for that horrible racket. Now, felt that lit quite nicely. At least initially. Body, maybe a tad heavier. I got to say the flavor intensity is not as strong to me as the 2-hour convection oven. This is the 4-hour at 200 degrees. Not really getting the room note, again, the way I did with the Sous Vide. Not really getting the strength of the nick as with the 2-hour convection. Tad off of dry, I would say, when it comes to mouth and feel. So kind of at this point, a little over halfway through the samples, I really probably like the Sous Vides the best. Then the 4-hour oven. Then probably, I don't know, it'll be a toss-up between the basic Cellared version and the 2-hour oven. So we got 3 left. We're on to pressure cooker for 2 hours. Coming up next. Okay, we're back now with the 2-hour pressure cooker at 240 degrees. I'd say this is a little stronger than that 4-hour convection oven. We're back to the pretty much the same as the others in terms of the aroma, the kind of smoky, peaty aroma there. This one seemed to take a little bit longer. I was really kind of looking down my nose into the bowl there as I was getting that lit. It seemed like it took a little bit longer. Yeah, back to a little bit of the bitterness that I noticed in the 2-hour convection oven. Could be a touch more on the nick as well there. Aroma's okay. It's okay. Probably not my favorite. Seems to be smoking really, though, quite well. We'll go through the bowl here. Staying lit nicely. Perhaps staying lit a little bit better than the others. Definitely a touch more oily, I would say. And I want to come back to why I keep saying I would say on this. We'll come back to that at the end. Actually, overall, not bad. Well, again, not my favorite. I think I'm liking the Sous Vides the most. Perhaps that 4-hour convection oven. I think maybe the 2-hour pressure cooker, and then the 2-hour convection oven. We got one more of the pressure cookers and then the no heat pressed sample. So it'll be interesting to try that. See what happens. Okay, so here we are with the 4-hour pressure cooker, and I will say, to me, this seems stronger in the aroma coming out of the bag. Still that nice, strong, peaty, smoky sensation. As with the 2-hour pressure cooker, I would say it's a little longer to get lit. Probably like it a little bit better than the 2. Interestingly, I liked the 4-hour convection oven better than the 2-hour convection oven. I think I like the 4-hour pressure cooker better than the 2-hour pressure cooker. Doesn't seem quite as strong, certainly in terms of nick. Flavor is good. Flavor is good. Aroma's okay. It's just not my favorite aroma. Doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean I don't like it. Just, I don't know. It's tobacco-y. I don't know what else to say about that. It's just not like maybe like my favorite, my Lane RLP6. Okay, it's not like that. Although I would say both of the both the pressure cookers stay lit better, seem to stay lit better in the bowl. So for flavor, I probably like the Sous Vide. I think for just regular smoking, be able to enjoy it, probably this 4-hour pressure cooker is not bad. And that it stays lit well. Not a bad smoke. Not a bad smoke. Maybe a little, again, touch off of dry. I don't want to go so far as to say oily on any of these, but maybe a touch off of dry. The last one coming up is the Noodle Press. Okay, here we are back with the Noodle Press. Now this, he says, was in for a noodle extruder or noodle press for 10 days under steady pressure. Once again, the aroma or the nose out of the baggie. again, that same basic flavor, maybe not quite as strong as the last there, which was the pressure cooker. Kind of like this. It's not as strong. Don't sense that bitterness. Flavor is subtle but enjoyable. Yeah. I'm enjoying this more. I don't sense the strong nick there. And again, it's hard to say room note when your room is the outdoors. It seems like one I might enjoy just as a slow sipping sort of pipe. So maybe one of these deals where we save the best to last. I honestly think I might like this the best. I should go back and compare this directly with the Sous Vides, which I had like the best before. But I probably like this the best. I think you got some flavor. You don't really have a saccharoony sense of the nicotine, which I don't like. I don't enjoy that. Some of you do. So bear that in mind. And I want to finish up when I keep saying to me. Now, from what I know of Revelation, he's not pulling a fast one on us. But this could be one of those taste test things where they're all the same. And I'm simply reading different labels and going, ooh, I kind of like the name of that one, so I'm predisposed to like it better, right? It could be one of those things. And Revelation is not pulling a fast one on us, I assure you, but that could have something to do with it, right? You see the name on the bag, oh, this is a 2-hour, this is 4-hour, and I don't know, certain little connections start going in your mind and predisposes you towards something. I'd say perhaps the pressure cooker stayed lit the best. I think I like in fact I know I like the no heat press sample the best in terms of flavor. Feel in the mouth, I like the Sous Vides next, followed by the Convection. Or at least Convection number 2, I think that's probably got the bottom of my list there. So, huge thank you to Revelation for inviting me to be a part of his taste testing. Appreciate you on that, brother. I don't know. Let me know what you think of this. And let Revelation know. We'll make sure his YouTube handle is in the notes. Folks, as Malcolm Guite likes to say, I do these little things in order at last to do nothing. Or as I like to say in Latin, Parva ago ut tandem, nihil agam. Have a wonderful day.